public's out there throwing darts at a board sport. I don't throw darts at a board. You ever watch those nature documentaries on the cable? Ever seen the one about the lions? He stopped believing. That's it. That's why he failed. All right. Let's put our cards on the table.
You're wrong. I'm completely familiar with psychoanalysis. I wake up every morning and I decide again if I want to live without you. I hate English. Don't get me wrong, it's fun and all that, and it inspires future generations and all that bullcrap, but in all honesty, I hate it. I've seen the horror. The horrors you've seen. I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. You're a first-year grad student. You just got done reading some Marxian history. Pete Garrison, probably. It wasn't him, Charlie. It was you. I'm not the type of guy who spends hundreds on a last-minute flight back to New York and tears across town and runs up 6 flights of stairs to knock on my best friend's girlfriend's door and in order to run off and elope based on one crazy, thoughtless, inexplicably romantic night. Guy told me one time, don't get attached to anything that you can't walk away from in 30 seconds flat if you feel the heat around the corner. You think you know everything, don't you? You're 25 years old, you're a baby, you don't know shit. Do you realize I work at home? Do you like being interrupted when you're dancing around in your little garden? Everything is more complicated than you think. You only see a tenth of what's true. There are a million tiny strings attached to every choice you make. You can destroy your life every time you choose. But so that you understand how serious I am, I'm going to say this in English. I had 3 daughters. Gina was 5. Jenny was 7. She liked boys already. You know, you want to be a part of it. Patriotic. Go out and get your licks in for the US of A. They got this guy in Germany, Fritz something or another. Maybe it's Werner. Anyway. You an angry man, Henry? Are you envious? Get envious? I have a competition in me. I want no one else to succeed. I hate most people. My name is Lieutenant Aldo Rain, and I'm putting together a special team, and I need me 8 soldiers. 8. Teldar Paper, Mr. Cromwell. Teldar Paper has 33 different vice presidents. I think you've gotten the wrong impression about me. I think it's only fair to explain to you what it is that I do. You're so ambitious, aren't you?
You know what you look like to me, with your good bag and your cheap shoes.
I've known Bob Rumson for years, and I've been operating under the assumption that the reason Bob devotes so much of his time and energy to shouting at the rain was that he simply didn't get it. This town will never be the same. After the Tangiers corporations took over. Looks like Disneyland now. I'm sorry, babe. I imagine that right now you're feeling a bit like Alice, tumbling down the rabbit hole. I miss things. All kinds of things. Places, people, feelings. Things that made me feel something. You keep calling me Walter and I don't like you. You're fat, wealthy. I don't know what to say, really. 3 minutes to the biggest battle of our professional lives. All comes down to today, and either we heal as a team, or we're gonna crumble. Inch by inch, play by play, until we're finished. Yeah, I was in the show. I was in the show for 21 days once. 21 greatest days of my life. I live in the American Gardens building on West 81st Street on the 11th floor. My name is Patrick Bateman, and I'm 27 years old, and I believe in taking care of myself. Let me put it this way. It's not anything strange. There's corrupt officers in police departments. The dirt.
Yeah. I tell you, I didn't want to kill you. I tried to keep you alive. If you jumped in here again, I wouldn't do it.
I have no love for terrorists or people who hurt other people in general. Now, many of us admire people who would hurt others who intended to hurt us. Now, Sawyer, you listen to me, and you listen hard. First of all, to understand what happened to Killer, you gotta know who Killer the dog was. If Aragon survives the war, he will still be Pontiff. If Sauron is defeated and Aragon made king and all you hope for comes true, you will still have to taste the bitterness of mortality. Fellow will remember a lot of things you wouldn't think you would. You take me. One day back in 1996, I was crossing over to Jersey on a ferry. I admit, I was jealous when I heard the tales they told about him. Not of the brilliant little prodigy himself, but of his father, who taught him everything. The business traveler should bring only what fits in a carry-on bag. Checking your luggage is asking for trouble. I can't tell you anything you don't know. We live in trenches out there. We fight. We try not to be killed. Well, that's funny because two of my ranchers rode to the other side of Pussyfoot this morning. Only one come back. Told me he got in a bit of a fracas with 6 strangers. What came first? The music or the misery? People worry about kids playing with guns or watching violent videos that some sort of culture violence will take them over. Nobody worries about kids listening to thousands, literally thousands of songs about heartbreak, rejection, pain, misery, and loss. In many ways, the work of a critic is easy. We risk very little, yet enjoy a position over those who offer up their work and their souls to our judgment. Top 5 things I miss about Laura. Sense of humor. Dry, but it could be warm and forgiving. And she had... got out of the car, walked towards the grocery store. The breeze was southwester. I knew that smell, that scent. The moment it hit me. McDonald's at the mall was cooking fries. I walked past the bench we last sat on, and I was reminded of the last time we spoke. That phone. Thank you, Miss Roan, but I'd like to do it myself, if you don't mind. We talked yesterday, and I really have something I need to tell her. No, Miss Roan, I can't wait. I've got to tell her the truth. Stop believing. That's it. That's why he failed. He quit. So much talent, so much potential. He lost faith in himself. Randall, no, wait. Now, listen to me. I beg of you not to do this thing. If Potter gets a hold of the building and loan, there'll never be another decent house built in this town again. He's gonna... You know, I have this recurring dream. It's in this big banquet table, and all the victims of all the murders I ever worked on. I was sitting at this table, staring at me. The worst thing that happened to me was on Christmas. Oh, God, it was so horrible. It was troopers. I just received new orders. Our superiors say the war is canceled. All you do, you get an idea. You set down what you want to say on paper. Then you hire someone else to fill in the commas and shit where they belong. You know, we're sitting here, like a couple regular fellas. You do what you do, and I do what I gotta do. I have an admittedly insane idea. But if I don't ask you this, it's, you know, it's gonna haunt me the rest of my life.
Don't grieve, Admiral. It is logical. The needs of the many outweigh the one. We are assembled here today to pay final respects to our honored dead. And Ray, people will come, Ray. They'll come to Iowa for reasons they can't even fathom. They'll turn into your driveway, not knowing for sure why they're doing it. They'll ride. I made that mistake again today. I stopped what I was doing, being busy.
And it's been so nice and quiet for the last 3 months. Tell me, this charge, does it sit uneasy with you?
It is not just I. It is all of us who feel we are waiting to fight for a cause.
What do you want from me? Do you expect me to let you go? Do you expect me to let you take my children away from me? Don't you know me? Don't you know that's an impossibility? You know, I used to think I was a great quarterback in high school. Still think so, too. Can't even bring myself to light a cigarette because I keep thinking I gotta stay in shape. So the night before last, I was driving by my shop on the way home, and there was a guy sitting on the bench, and it looks like he had some bags. And it's not really strange, because we're right across the street from the bus station and the train station, but I normally don't like people hanging out on our loading dock, but...
Oh, okay. Yes, if I could, I would gouge out Taryn McEwick's eyeballs and eat them for what he did to me.
I was about to go to bed, and as I shut down my browser, I saw a picture in the headline. I thought it was you in the picture, but it's Princess Di. I want to tell you a story. I'm going to ask you all to close your eyes while I tell you the story. I want you to listen to me. I want you to listen to yourselves. There's great wisdom in jokes, Falk, really. Now, there's an old joke about a prize fighter in the ring, right? And he's getting his brains beat out. And his mother's in the audience. And she's watching him get beaten up in the ring. And there's a priest next to her. And she says, "Father, pray for him." And the priest says, "I will pray for him, but if you could punch it would help." There's an empty that can't be filled in a place that you once were. Woke up this morning and the stress is finally hitting me. So down today. We took off from SeaTac. We headed south. Right over that spot on the hillside where we stood that cold and windy day overlooking the docks. I listen to stories, and I decide if they'll make good movies or not. I get about 125 phone calls a day. I told her to her face that she was exactly what I was looking for. A married woman with children. She looked at me a moment before she got the joke. In that moment. I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left. I read it because I'm just going to cold read. I just a frigid read or whatever I think is what they call it. Like I've never read this monologue before. So I go, yeah, this is Hollywood Boulevard, Los Angeles, California. It's about 5 o'clock in the morning. That's the homicide squad over there. You know, we just stop believing. That's it. That's why I failed. Quit. We know her humility, her devotion, her loyalty to her art, her love, and deep and abiding love for us, for what we are and what we do in the theater. Now, I wake up. I wake up every day. And I decide again if I want to live without you. So I guess this is where I tell you what I learned. My conclusion, right? My conclusion is that hate is baggage. Life's too short to go around pissed off all the time. The organizing principle of any society, Mr. Garrison, is for war. The authority of the state over its people resides in its war powers. And Kennedy wanted to end the Cold War in his second term. He wanted... So much of the time we're just lost.
You know the results of the latest Gallup poll. Half the country hasn't even heard of the word Watergate. No one gives a shit.
Last night I was awakened from a fitful sleep. Shortly after 2 o'clock in the morning by this shrill, sibilant, baseless voice.
There's no way the international community is going to think that that's an actual nuclear bomb.
Oh, but well, not that I'm disagreeing with you.
Yeah,
but
don't.
No, I definitely not disagree, but I am trying to provide an alternate viewpoint.
Okay.
I just want to tell you, I was supposed to take care of everything. I was supposed to make sure that everything was okay for everybody. Didn't work out like that, and I